Next off, as I showed you before, you can divide the date by simply going to the data using the text columns. But there are some functions that can do it in a different way. So if you want to isolate, let's say, the day, you can use the function equals day. Let's do it right now to show you what I mean. The serial number equation is actually the date serial number. So even though you don't see the serial number because it's formatted as a date, remember that Excel actually sees this as a day. So you can see the answer being 29. So that's absolutely correct. And if you're not sure how is the date formatted because you have a computer from a different region, or you simply have a date format that works in a different way, this is the way to do it. It's probably the easiest way to do to get the day out of a date without actually thinking about it. You can do very precise stuff with this. Well, you can use the month. No, sorry. You can do the month also using the serial number and the year. So you see how this works. So now let's go over converting a date from text. First off, you may have data in your worksheet that looks like a date, but it's not represented as an Excel date value. For example, if you enter something like this, you see that Excel sees this as a general text. Excel would have no way of knowing whether this is January 24th, 2015, or the code for your combination log, or well, whatever number it could be. If it looks like a date, you can use the date value function to convert it into an Excel date value. In practice, any standard date format entered into a cell is recognized by Excel as a date and converted accordingly. However, there may be cases such as when text dates are imported from an external data source or data is copied and pasted into Excel that you need date value. Why not enter dates as text data? Because although they may look fine, you can't use them for any Excel's powerful date calculations without first converting them to date values. The date value function recognizes almost all commonly used ways that dates are written. Here are some ways that you may enter, let's say August 5th, 2005. So, let's see what happens with these 5. And just to see, this one's general, and this one's formatted as date. This happens because this is what I wrote here. This would be fine if we change the date format in the system into the US format. For me, because I have the Polish format, this is the preferred date format. But there are different ways. So if I write in Excel sees this as a custom, and I can now format it to a date. That's because I use the acronym for the January in Polish. And let's delete this. Okay, so how to use the, well, maybe first few words. What is date value? Date value can convert these and several other date representations to a date serial number. After you've converted the dates to the date serial number, the dates can be used in other date formulas or to perform calculations as described in other parts of this chapter. To use date value function, follow these steps. First off, let's pick a cell where we want to input the date value. Let's delete this and we'll input the date value over here. So I've inputted two dates, as you can see over here. Please note that to do this, usually we have the general format over here, but if you wanted to do some testing with dates, because typically if I just wrote in 2014 02 02, see what happens? It switches. If I go 1999 02 02, nothing happens, but this is formatted as text, and if we go to general, it should, sorry, if we go to general now, oh, because it copied the, yeah, now it should be fine, 992, 02, and date, see, it switched. Okay, to actually see the date format without it being controlled by switching to a date format, you would have to switch to text. If you switch to text, this basically tells Excel to, well, leave you alone. Leave this. You can write in anything you want. If it's a text, you can write in equals sum, and it will just type in equals sum. Because usually if you write in equals sum, it will just show you a error because you use the function and it just doesn't work. But if you type in and make it as a text, this will actually format the cell as a text cell, and you can write in absolutely anything, and Excel will not recognize it as any type of function or date or anything else. Okay, so going back to our date value function, so equals date value, and obviously we've got an error. Great, we choose this one, and it shows us the number. And after date value, and after choosing it, you can see the number being foreseen for us. This is useful in some situations. I won't be really explaining to you when you can use this and when it could be preferably useful, because it depends on your task. But when you have this number, you basically have the date. So if you somehow find yourself in a situation, see if you change the format and it switches, even though you have the function over here. Next off is the today function. How to find out with Excel or let Excel know what date it is today. And this function actually works as if you put it in the today function each day. One day, yeah, so you put it today, tomorrow it will switch to tomorrow's date. So when working in Excel, you often need to use the current date. Each time you print a worksheet, for example, you may want the day's date to show. The today function fills the bill perfectly for this. It simply returns date from your computer's internal clock. And to use today function, I will show you how to do it. First off, let's leave this as a format so we will see. This is how you input the today date by enter. Nothing happens because, as I said, Excel sees this as a text. So this is basically what you do. Let's go to general and enter. Yeah, and this is today's date. That's it. You now have the date from your computer. If your computer's clock is not set correctly, don't really blame Excel. Like all dates in Excel, what you really end up with is a serial number, but the date formatting displays the date in readable fashion. So to see the serial number, you have it over here. So today is the 41,789 day of Excel's calendar. Okay, great. And with all functions in Excel, you can embed functions in other functions. So just to show you something interesting which we didn't try until now, we can combine functions with each other. So let's say you want to, you have the date, it's today, but you want the month of this date, so you can do it either like this and mark the serial number, which is over here. Okay, and now change it to general. You have to click enter, so you know it's May. But instead of actually doing both of them, you can do it once. You can just write in the today function in it, but you have to remember to close it twice, and the result is the same. So without the equals marker inside the month function, you can input the serial number by just inputting a separate function inside. This actually works for most of functions, so combinations like this are absolutely possible, and you can do it as many times you need. So to build actual complicated functions, you have to combine those functions together. Okay, so let's count the days until your birthday. After a certain age, a lot of people wish their birthday would not come around so often. But if you still like birthdays, you can use Excel to keep track of how many days are left. Entered in a cell, this formula tells you how many days are until your birthday. So let's say your next birthday will be okay, and we will use this one over here because this will be your task. And month. Awesome. Let's format this to yellow. Same over here. So now to do this, we have to type equals date. We enter the date we want to count down from. So let's say your birthday will be year 2014, month will be December, and the day will be 5th. Okay, and this tells us the date of the proper date formula. So it would have give us the proper serial number for that date minus today. So you can actually do math in functions. So you can add functions if they are actually a singular number. If they're not a format of text or anything like that, you can do simple math on them, and basically you can add, abstract, multiply, whatever. You can do anything you want with functions. But remember that when you go into the field of more complicated math with functions, errors may occur. But this is a topic for the expert part of Excel. So enter, and you see that from today till the 5th December 2014, we still have 189 days. So this is well, more than half of the lesson, and what I want you to do right now is recreate a few of these functions. So first off, create the day, month, and year function. Then use the date value, at least in two parts, with well, two formatted different dates. Next off, use the today function. And last but not least, let's calculate your the month or the year or the day, whichever you prefer from the from today's date, and your last exercise for now will be the formula that counts the days until your birthday. Great. Next off, let's do a different exercise. Let's say we want to count your age in days. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? So, age in days, and what you do is do this function, but the opposite way. So, you type in today, as today is the mark you want to begin counting from. You abstract from it a date. So let's say I was born in whatever 1987. This is not my actual date. Month, let's say 09, and date, let's say 01. Oh no, okay, I didn't finish, and enter. So, theoretically, I'm 9,768 days old. Okay, great. So your another task will be to count your age in days or in months, whichever suits you. It might be also interesting to do it in months, if you prefer to. Great. Next off, we have the weekday function. So we call weekday. Okay, so how to use the weekday function? First off, Excel can help figure this out. The weekday function helps you figure out which day of the week a date falls on. Now you can figure out whether your next birthday falls on Friday, or you can make sure a planned business meeting does not fall on a weekend. Here's how you use the weekday function. So first off, the same as I did. Then select the cell that has the date you want to find out the weekday for. So just doesn't really matter, let's choose this one. So this would be the 15th of May, well, maybe a sooner function we can actually verify. So 29th of May to see which month it would be, which weekday it would be. And let's close it up. So the answer is 5, and as you probably are thinking right now, yes, this is the 5th day of the week. So you have 5 different return values that can be shown. So I'll paste this in here. And one is Sunday, second is Monday, third is Tuesday, fourth is Wednesday, fifth is Thursday, sixth is Friday, and seventh is Saturday. Because for this Excel calendar, it actually uses the European calendar, I guess, in which Sunday is the first day of the week, and basically that's how it's being counted. So don't confuse the return number with the actual dates. Just because this table shows a value of 4 indicating Wednesday doesn't mean the 4th of a month is a Wednesday. The values of the returned numbers are also a bit confusing because most people consider Monday or not Sunday to be the first day of the week. You can go argue the point with Microsoft if you like, or better yet, you can include a second optional argument that tells weekday to return 1 for Monday, 2 for Tuesday, and so on. So to do so, we have to write in equals weekday. Open up, choose, it was, I believe, 2015, yeah, here, next, and to do this, we have to switch to 2, So it will begin from the second option, so which is Monday. So it will tell us that the 28th of May was or will be actual Wednesday. So 28th of May is Wednesday. Yes, that's correct. Great. So for the last task for today's lesson, let's use the network days function. So most weeks have 5 work days, Monday through Friday, and 2 weekend days. I know some weeks seem to have 20 work days, but it's just your imagination. Excel has 2 functions that let you perform workday related calculations. So we'll be concentrating on the network days function, which tells you how many work days are in a range of dates. Ever sit at your desk and stare at the calendar trying to count how many workdays are left in the year? Excel can answer this vital question for you. So network days counts the number of days, omitting Saturdays and Sundays, in a range of dates that you supply. You can add a list of days that should not be counted if you want. So if you have a bank holiday at your country on a specific date, you can use it. So this optional list is where you can put holiday, vacations time, and so on. Let's use the network date. So today, let's insert equals today again. Great, we have the today's date, and let's say the end of the year, so that would be this year 2014-12-1. Okay, so we have 2 dates. We have today, today's date and the last day of the year. So the remaining workdays function be here, and since this is well, for your own use, it will be really nice, so let's make it like that. And network days. So start date, we start at the today date. Next, end date. And let's say our holidays will be only this, since we don't really need any, but we could use a function of few holidays, so maybe we could input it over here. But you could do a huge impact. So if you had like New Year's Day, vacation, I don't know, any type of Memorial Day or whichever holiday you have at your country, you could use it over here. So enter. And by omitting this date, we mark this one. So we can use 2014-06-5. So let's delete this and go back and see that Excel actually removes the number for 153, and if I remove this function, it will count it as 100. So here I have 54 more days of work. Yeah, just makes your mind blown a bit. Okay, so I want you to do the same in your computer. Count the days from today's date till the end of the year and see the number of remaining work days. So this will be your main task to finish. Also, please finish the rest of them. Let's remove the weekday because we won't be using this one. We can remove why so. Okay, so leave the remaining work days, and that's it for today. So after today's lesson, you probably understand dates much more in Excel. So hopefully from now on you won't have any problems with formatting the dates in any cells. As usual, if you want to know more in regarding the time or date, you can read a bit more about many other functions you have in here, even the minutes, the hours, and oh yeah, days 360 is also very interesting. So if you want any more info on the dates, read a bit about them. As usual, you can use the Excel help. So thank you very much, and see you in lesson 10.